Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia over at intuitiveandspiritual.com, and I write about compassion, love with creativity, and I'm always taking questions for anything that you might want to know more about that relates back to the website. And a few months ago I wrote a post on Ode to Tea, and not long after that I had a friend email me, my friend Raleigh, Rolly, at firesideraleigh.com, and he had wondered if I had ever tried or heard of Chaga mushroom tea. And I had not. I am really into matcha tea right now, but at his suggestion, I went ahead and ordered some, and this stuff is incredible. What I loved about the conversations I've had with Raleigh over messaging is I got to know him a little bit and his adventures, but I also got to see just more about what this tea does and its benefits, and I would have never known about it had he not asked. So I'm very grateful that he asked about if I knew about chagas. So it is a mushroom, and it grows on birch trees in the northeastern part of the US, goes up into Canada, up into northern Russia, northern China, those sorts of places. And guess what? They've known about it for centuries. Little did the rest of us know, but we're starting to find out that chaga mushrooms are some of the healthiest things that you can ever consume or do for your body. And this comes from ancient Chinese medicine. It comes from the First Nations peoples and our Native American Indian peoples who have used this for centuries. And you see the incredible health that these people all imbibe. So I wanted to share this after I found out all of this stuff. When chaga grows on a birch tree, it attaches itself to where the tree was weakened from either a wound or where a tree branch fell or something like that. And so it forms a symbiotic relationship. The chaga attaches, it gets food and nutrients from the tree trunk. Meanwhile, it protects the tree from any other microorganisms or different predators or parasites that might infect the tree. And so it forms this great relationship with the tree that can last upwards of 20 years, even if the tree was weakened. And it creates sort of this black stuff on the outside called mycelium, and on the inside is the more brown mushroomy part. It does not look like your typical mushroom though. These are chunks that you can use to make tea with, but it looks a lot like wood, or wood that's turning into petrified wood. The thing is, when I started reading up about the benefits of chaga mushroom and mushroom tea, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm always gonna have to drink this stuff now. And it actually tastes really good. It tastes like vanilla or something like vanilla when you consume it. And there's a different way of making it than your typical brewed tea, which I'll go over in just a minute. But the benefits, I just can't even tell you. Y'all have to try this. Okay, I'm gonna read off a list here. It helps to regulate the human immune system. So if it's underactive, it helps to make it more active. If it's too active, it helps to kind of tone that back. So it can do so much more though. And in my research, I found that it can help purify the blood. It can help reduce inflammation. It can help give you a subtle but noticeable energy shift. Not like caffeine, but you feel more energy after drinking it. You get so many phytonutrients, which are cancer fighting, and they help alkalize the blood, which that is one of the most important things in terms of leading a good, healthy life, is keeping your blood sort of on the alkaline side more than on the acidic side. And the American diet typically makes our blood more acidic. Chaga mushrooms also lend themselves to being very loaded with amino acids and other nutrients that are so important to our health. It can be used as a pain reliever. It can help regulate cell production in the body, which is also why it's known to be great for fighting cancer. But it's got antioxidants up the wazoo. That means that the dark stuff in it, so on the black part here, this is really the mycelium, and that will get into your tea, and basically those antioxidants stop oxidation from happening in the blood cells. And when that happens, all kinds of good things happen. Can help stop aging, and it can help you from just incurring cell damage, and just so many benefits that you read about from the oxidation process. So anything with antioxidants, orange juice, broccoli, all those good for you vegetables all matter. But chaga mushroom tea tops all of that. So there are several ways to make chaga tea. One of them is just by getting a chunk and you put it in your teacup, and then you pour not boiling but pretty hot water, not above 180 degrees, over it, and you let it steep for at least 15 minutes, but it's even better if you can let it steep for a longer amount of time. At the end of those 15 minutes, you can sweeten it with whatever you would like, although why add sugar to something that is so incredibly healthy and powerful? So I recommend honey or even organic stevia. No calories, and this stuff is good for you too. So I love that. So my friend Raleigh's method is to put it on a pot to cook for several hours. And so what I decided to do here was try it in a crock pot. And so I set about 5 or 6 chunks in there a few hours ago, and I set it to low, and basically it's ready whenever I want to drink some tea now. And my friend Raleigh had said that the Native Americans that he had stayed with years ago would keep a pot over the fire and just add chunks of chaga mushrooms all day long, and then they would just sip as needed, and they would just keep it going 24/7. I love that. It sounds so cool, and it sounds like it lends itself to such community and building strong bonds with other people in the name of something that's quite meditative, quite peaceful, and so healthy. Now, on some websites that I researched, those folks can grind the little chunks that they get off of the tree into a powder, and that makes it more concentrated. You could still cook it a similar way, put it into a pot, 5 or 6 hours, that sort of thing. I personally want to stick with my friend Raleigh's method, since he knows so much about it and has been using chaga tea for years and years and years. And I trust his judgment. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with the slow cooked method, where you put it in a pot and you just let it simmer for hours, and then you can partake as needed. Now, when you go to order chaga mushrooms, it's not that easy to find a site that just is going to be sustainable and wild harvested and organic and just really trustworthy. And so there is anandachaga.com, which is a Canadian site. You can order from that, but the shipping cost is pretty high. It costs about as much as the tea itself when you go to order it. So what I did was I went to My Berry Organics, and they sell through Amazon, and this one is sourced from Maine if you are in the US, and the shipping is not that expensive. And this bag was probably about $20 US for, it says it has 17 to 20 chunks in here, but you can use each chunk 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times. But basically you can use a chunk until the water doesn't seem to get much tea into it after that. And so, yeah, I can't wait to just use up all these chunks that I have. And I'm just so excited that chaga tea has come into my life. But now for the really contemplative part. You can make tea drinking anytime a very meditative and contemplative experience, and that is what I'm all about. Meditation has changed my life, and I'm out to just show everyone that it helps you to become your authentic self, and it just leads you to be so much more calm and watch the world as it goes by and just be blissful and happy. And isn't that what we want for everyone? So when you go to make a cup of tea, there is a way to make it super meditative. And that is by just slowing down, pouring your water over your piece of chaga mushroom and letting it steep. And then when you come to drink it, naturally sipping your tea makes it so that you have to slow down. And when you go to do that, before you even take that first sip, you can make it a meditative experience by focusing on your breath and breathing in and out deeply several times before you even take that first sip. Notice the aroma. Notice how it tastes when you bring it to your lips and you try that first sip. It is so delicious, so good. And if you can sort of keep your mind clear and just keep everything quiet around you and take some time to sip, think about the gift of chaga, the gift of a beautiful clay cup in your hands. I don't know, life is good. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and go over to intuitiveandspiritual.com if you want more information. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Talk to you later.